Hey guys, are you looking for pain, agony, and misery in the world of sports? Well, welcome to Tuned In Sports. If you like that kind of stuff, then you've come to the right place because between our teams, there is nothing but pain and suffering. So with that being said, enjoy the video. Hey, what's up guys? Got another new video for you. This is Tuned In Sports. My name is Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
I'm Steve.
I'm Don.
And they are from DENT SPORTS, Denver, Detroit Sports. If you like the pain you watch here, then there's even more of it over there. So make sure you tune into their YouTube channel as well. It's nice to have you guys on the channel again.
Yeah, it's great to be here.
It's always fun to share the misery.
Yeah, it's always exciting.
Yeah, nothing beats therapy than just keep talking about it.
Exactly. Yeah, we're living proof that therapy works, I guess.
Yeah.
Or maybe it doesn't, I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to get into some football talk for, well, the first time at least on this channel in months.
I was going to say probably since the season ended, right?
Yeah, exactly. Since the Washington...
About week 5. No.
I was going to say. Well, we still made videos after the season was over then.
That was all fluff.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so yeah, we're going to get into some football talk for the first time in a very long time on this channel. So we're looking forward to that. We're going to go ahead and kick off with some Lions talk. That's always, great.
It's obviously the best way to start the show.
I was going to say, there was no other option. We had to start with the Lions.
Yeah, it's the only way to go. I mean, there's anybody who knows anything knows that they're going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, outside of draft picks, it's the first time they finished first in anything in a while.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is, the coach already said it. He said we're going to start by knocking some kneecaps off. Yeah. So once we start biting kneecaps off, we're going to disable the people. So eventually, there's not going to be anybody left to play us.
Yeah.
So, that's how we're going to do it. We'll just, if we can't beat them, in the game, then we just physically take care of them.
Just beat them.
Yeah. We just physically beat them so they can't play. So, and then I'm sure if they need some, they can always throw a little COVID here and there. If they need to do that, look at how good it worked for the Broncos, right?
Yeah. You get to start a wide receiver at quarterback. It worked well.
Yeah. That's my point. So, you just take it as it comes.
Exactly.
Whatever you need to do, you just do it.
Yeah. Whatever the league wants, we'll do it for them.
The only problem is, I don't know if that one
The Patriots can move around their schedule 5 times, but the Broncos have to play.
Yeah.
Just do what you need to do.
The only problem is, I don't know if that one game was enough to get him a horse on the carousel, so he might need to start a few more times so we can add him on.
We can just throw him on there.
Yeah. They got enough.
Everybody's welcome.
Okay.
If you suited up, you're on the carousel.
Exactly. Yeah, that's, like I said, that's obviously what the plan is. I'm thoroughly convinced, listening to a couple of press conferences, that all the problems we've ever had are fixed.
Yeah.
We got everything.
We got the Super Bowl being held at Ford Field.
Yeah.
So that's how they're going to go, right? Because the Super Bowl is going to be hosted there.
We got everything we need. All I got to do is listen to a few press conferences, and we got it figured out.
Yeah, plug and play.
Yeah,
it's over.
It's done.
Yeah, Rodgers and the Packers and Vikings and Bears can just send it. Just
piss
send
up
the
rope.
Yeah, go home.
Yeah, it's over. Yeah, you guys are wasting your time. Truthfully, I don't really see a game, on the schedule that they're really going to be worried about. All the divisional games will be a cakewalk. And, anybody else that they are facing, is there anybody else? Come on.
Yeah.
It's obviously what it's supposed to be. It's just time. So, with that being said, it's...
good luck, Rams. Good luck, Cardinals, making all these trades.
Obviously, the reason we were losing all this time was because of Stafford, so we got rid of that cancer.
You got rid of Prater.
Yeah. That guy can't make an extra point, so fuck him.
Yeah.
And, so we got all these guys coming in. Fatty Matt Patricia went, back to New England, so, we got rid of all those problems.
I mean, as I know, I mean, who needs offense? I mean, if you can put up, 10 to 13 points a game, you're good.
No, exactly. I mean, exactly. I saw how Denver did that last year.
Yeah, it really worked well.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you.
I don't know.
We're in the top 10 in the draft, so that's how it works.
I tend to believe 17 is the number.
Well, 17 is the number to get the L because we usually hit 16.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we did 17 5 times last year, so we pretty familiar with that one.
Well, yeah, but I mean now, you got the systems.
Well, exactly. I'm not gonna even compare last year's team because
this
we
year
didn't
you
have
got
systems.
Yeah. This year you got systems.
Last year we had coaching to win. We didn't have systems.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was a mistake all along. Is he was trying to win games for our team.
He was playing to win.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's That's
if you're coaching to win, but you don't have the systems, you're not winning.
Right. I mean, even the analytics would tell you need the systems.
I would hope.
You win to play the game.
Yeah. So analytics will tell you that. I mean, come on. So, I mean, the way I see it is, Detroit's got a clear path, easy path to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Most likely going to face the Jets or maybe the Texans or somebody.
Yeah, Texans is solid.
Oh, my Lord.
No, I mean, all seriously, I mean, it's just rebuild with Detroit.
Yeah.
And there's going through the motions of getting rid of salary and plugging in whatever they can plug in and see where they go next.
Yeah. Even with that, I mean, it's kind of funny that, I still feel actually much better off than I have in years. As far as at least, I feel like the coaching staff is like legit. And I think that's going to be helpful. And I do like some of the free agent signings that they've picked up. Michael Brockers, and he was traded for, but I still like that. I mean, we need players like that. We need guys that can make a difference on the defensive side. Mm-hmm. And last year was about as putrid as you could get. I think we were like dead last in defense, or if we weren't, we were damn close to it. And that's where you got to start. I mean, it's hard when you can score 30 but give up 40. And that's kind of where we've been. It wasn't really a situation where we weren't scoring points last year. We were scoring plenty, but the problem is we couldn't stop anybody. So I'm just excited to see kind of what the defense shapes up to be and what it's going to look like. I'm excited about the players, like I said, that we've signed. And one thing I'm pretty much sure of is due to who we've signed, we're going to be getting after the quarterback. Now, we may be getting burned on the outside, on the deep throw because we're playing, we're going to be getting after the quarterback, but we're going to see some sacks. I really believe that. Like I said, I like the people that we've brought in, and I'm anxious to see what we do in the draft. A lot of the mock drafts that I've seen looks like we're taking that Micah Parsons from Penn State. So, I think he's legit. Could be a difference maker for him. And, I'm not sure what's going to happen. My guess is if they don't do him, maybe they trade down if they can, which there's probably going to be some possibilities of that happening. I think there'll be plenty of teams looking to move up.
Well, I think in their situation, I think that's the smartest play, probably. If somebody wants to move up, because again, you need bodies, so I think that's the perfect scenario is actually trade down to get more people. Yeah,
if you can turn it into 2 picks in the first round and pull it to 1, that would be addressing the 2 things.
Yeah, or somewhere down the way. That's with it, second round or third round.
Early second, yeah.
It's just, again, there's just so many holes, right? Since it's a rebuild, right? So there's you gotta fill those gaps. You lost, they lost Davis, which was huge. I know that nobody liked him there, but the dude could play, and I'm sure you'll watch him in New York and he'll ball out. And,
Sala will know what to do with him.
Yeah, exactly. That's on it. So again, it's just that's the worst thing. It's nice to get free agents, but you also have to look at what you lost, because sometimes some of those losses are bigger than what you think on some of those on some of those deals. Because it's just like, oh wow, it's good. We got this person, but we lost, the right side of the line. That was like that trade with what was that? The Seahawks and the Saints that one time, where oh hey, they got Jimmy Graham, but they lost the whole right side of their offensive line, and then Russell Wilson sitting on his back the whole season. So it was like, oh well, maybe that wasn't a good one, you know. So again, it's that whole who, what, when, where, see what you can do. But like I said, with them in a full rebuild, you're going to have to be able to get as much talent as you can on the roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they've definitely lost their fair share, like you said. So it's more about bodies, even more so, because they're not only trying to replace people that and fill positions that could be improved on, but they're also replacing a ton. And
no, I mean, like I said, like that True Font thing, I totally see that. An older player.
Yeah.
Yeah, and truthfully, he wasn't
get rid of him.
Anyway.
You know what I mean? Just get rid of him. I mean, okay, but again, that's a corner now because you don't have a corner, right? Mm-hmm. So now you limit the corner, and like I said, the Davis, there's that, and X, Y, and Z. At least with the Stafford trade, you got a quarterback back. Yeah. But if for some reason they trade Goff, because we still have time to do that, then they need a QB, right? So it's just a lot of moving parts, I think, for Detroit for the summer, actually. When you say just over the next couple of weeks, I think it's going to be a whole summer thing of trying to massage that roster and kind of figure out where they still need to go with them things. But they are at least setting expectations realistically that, hey, we are in a rebuild and this is what we're doing, and we're going to try to do this right instead of what we've done in the last 50 years, and this is completely wrong.
Yeah.
Right. So.
No, I applaud the organization, and I really applaud ownership is what I applaud, because for the first time, this Sheila Hemp Ford, I think, has a clue of what's actually needed to be done there, and like I said, I'm impressed with the people they brought in to this point on the coaching side. The player side is obviously going to be a work in progress and revolving door with some of these people, but I do like what they're doing, and I think it's going to pay dividends down the road. So
like I said, it's a good foundation. They've same thing that probably Caldwell, right? I mean, this has probably been the most foundation they've had. I'd say Caldwell and Fonts, right? I mean, everything in between that and then post that has just been a mess. So
no, exactly. So I mean, anything moving in the right direction would be positive at this point. So
yeah, for sure. I completely agree. It'll be interesting to see what the Lions do, and like you say, it'll be interesting to see what they do in the draft if they decide to trade back, which I agree. I think that's probably a better play, but at the same time, if they feel like they really like the guy that you're talking about, or if they end up needing a quarterback, maybe staying in that spot is going to be the better move. I know that there was a lot of talks about them looking at Trey Lance and stuff early on, but it seems like they're not the only ones going to be doing that all of a sudden, because I hear more and more teams almost daily taking a look at him, including yours truly, Philadelphia Eagles. So.
Well, no, like I said, the hard thing for them is they still have a big number on the books with the QB.
Yep.
So, if they're trying to rebuild this, the more dollars you can take off, the better you'll be, right? It makes it a little bit more flexible.
And I think the jury is really still out on Goff. I don't think he's necessarily a bad quarterback.
No,
I think given opportunity and put in the right positions, I think he's going to do just fine. And this guy's got experience. He's won playoff games. Hell, he went to a Super Bowl. So I mean, how many quarterbacks can say that? Not many. So I mean, would I rather have Stafford? Sure. But that's just because I love the guy, and I just enjoyed watching him play for so long. But truthfully, if you look at the resume and you didn't know who the players were, and you say, "Oh, this guy's went to a Super Bowl, won several playoff games, this and that, and only been in the league for whatever. What has he been in the league for? 4 or 5 years?
Yeah. I think this
something
is his
like
fourth
that.
year.
So to have the resume he's already built, there'd be most people would say, "Oh, give me that guy." So, I mean,
that was also Flacco. I mean, we were. Oh wait, anyway.
But I mean,
he actually won a Super Bowl. He actually won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
the elite quarterback.
Yeah, he's elite.
But I mean, I just think that I mean, Goff's still young. I mean, he's not anywhere near. I mean, he's only 25, if that.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's still got room to grow, and I mean, and considering that he's coming from a place where I mean, the GM of the Lions was working for the Rams, and so was the assistant GM. They both came from the Rams. So I mean, these guys obviously knew what they were getting when they brought him in. So, and according to what I've seen on the press conferences and this and that, that was one of the big factors of why they made that trade. Is because they were guaranteed a nice quarterback in return. So, I mean, it's up for debate who's, whatever. And, I mean, I'm a Stafford supporter, so I'm never going to, diss this guy. Because, to me, he's been wonderful, and I wish him nothing but the best moving forward. But, I mean, if I'm looking at it from Detroit's standpoint, I mean, we didn't exactly get trash in return. We got something that's more than serviceable. And probably is better than a lot of the starters in the league. So, we'll see where it ends up. But, yeah, I mean, kudos to the organization for trying to do the right thing and ownership. I mean, we still have that. We still got the guy that's not a football guy, but
as the president or whatever.
Yeah, he's in one of the top positions there. But I mean, I don't even care about that so much anymore because they finally did the right thing and said, okay, we need to get football people in here.
Yeah.
So I mean, what they do, they go out and bring in the guy from the Chiefs and all this other stuff, to help kind of, pull it together and give these new guys that are in the GM position and that, give them some help because they're rookies. And so, I mean, what a better scenario for these guys to be in than to be surrounded by guys that have been there, done that, and won stuff. So, and it sounds like for once that the organization actually looks like they care about winning rather than just filling the stands. So, I mean, hopefully that'll translate into something. But if not, what's another 50 years of losing?
Yeah. So I think we'll go ahead and move on to the Cincinnati Bengals now. I know that they've had a number of different things going on over there as well. Maybe not so much in the coaching change department as the Lions had, but definitely some player personnel changes going on in Cincy. So
yeah, I mean, overall, I mean, I don't have much to complain about. We ended up letting go of, Carl Lawson and also William Jackson, but, we got their replacements right away. And actually might have signed a better corner than Jackson. I mean, I think potentially Hilton could be a really nice fit on this team, as well as Uwuzie, or however you say his name. I think both those guys have a lot of potential to be pretty nice. Mm-hmm. Uwuzie is really athletic and got speed, all the stuff that you really need, in my opinion. I mean, I watched some footage of him, but he does drop balls every once in a while, but that happens with every corner.
If he was that great of a catcher, he'd be playing offense.
Right, exactly.
Right?
that too. But then we, besides those two guys, I mean, to replace Lawson, we decided to bring in Trey Hendrickson from the Saints, who had 13.5 sacks last year, which is one of the leading pass rushers in sacks last year. So, really nice fit. Great pickup, in my opinion. I don't understand why these people are... I mean, at the beginning, a lot of Bengals fans were complaining about this pickup and saying, oh, why did you let Lawson go and all this stuff, when we got him for an extra year for only $6 million more than what Lawson would have been getting paid. Lawson got a 3-year, $54 million, and Trey Hendrickson got a 4-year, $60 million for just as good a production, in my opinion, if not better. So I mean, who would I take out of those two? Obviously, the guy that has the sack production. You know, we need a pass rush. I mean, last year alone, we only had 17 sacks on the year. So, what? I think the choice is obvious. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, it's been a good offseason, though. I mean, I've liked a lot of the things that we've done.
Mm-hmm.
And then we signed Riley Reef just recently for our offensive line. So, you know, great fit there as well. Veteran player, can help some of the younger O-linemen that we have, you know, develop. And, you know, not a lot of bad to say overall, though. I think they're making moves to get better, and I think it will show over these next couple seasons.
Yeah, definitely. I think they did the right stuff. You know, they needed a corner, so they got a corner. They need defensive line help, so they got a defensive lineman. You know, offensive lineman, so they got offensive lineman. So, again, filling holes with it. But, again, same thing. They're losing players, though. So, they lost Atkins. They lost Green.
Yep.
Pac-Man Jones. Oh, no.
I didn't even mention that. But.
No, I'm just joking. But, no, it's just another thing. I mean, it's going to be pretty much, you know, can they protect the QB, you know, if and when Burrow comes back, right? I mean, that's the step number one, right? If Burrow doesn't come back anytime soon, then all this is a wash, right? Because I don't think Allen's going to take him to the promised land, you know, with that. So if Burrow comes back healthy, that's the first step. Then the next step is protect him.
Yeah, make sure
because that's how you got in the situation in the first place.
Yep.
You know, it was here.
Yeah.
So if those two things will happen, then I think they're going to be, because that's going to help their defense, right? Because, you know, offense is going to put points on the board and get some production. So if they can start filling some holes, you know, on the defensive side, we'll see. I mean, again, I understand what people are saying with the Saints. I mean, could the guy be a benefit of the Saints system?
Yeah.
Could have been.
Could have been. Yeah.
You know, because the Saints did have a pretty good defense. So, you know, it's just not one player that makes the Saints defense. You know, they're suffering, you know, with Jordan and, you know, the whole thing. So, again, is he a benefit of the players around him, or was his talent? Mm-hmm. So, I can totally see why people are questioning that with it. But, again, better than sitting still and not doing anything. No. And say, oh, yeah, we got the guys here. No, you don't. You don't have the guys here.
No, I mean, you
mean,
gotta like it, the aggressiveness from the
the
standpoint of at least, hey, we're trying to get shit better.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna lose that guy anyways, at least they got somebody that you don't have to sit there and say, well, can he play?
Yeah,
because he proved that he can play. It's just, is it like you said? Is it the system that helped him out? But obviously, if the system's in place, then he can be more than functional. So at least they got somebody that's proven instead of, well, we think maybe this guy, because they don't need any more maybes. They want people.
Well, yeah, no, especially if you do have Burrow. I mean, again, you have the franchise quarterback.
Yep.
And then you need to start making the moves to make the team go, because, again, windows open and close real fast in the league.
Yep, exactly.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was unfortunate. I mean, I never did mention the whole AJ Green thing and Geno Atkins thing. I mean, those were two unfortunate losses, but, you know, with how AJ Green was, you know, dealing with injuries and stuff, I mean, it's probably better to just let him walk or at least try and trade him. We didn't. But then again, I mean, how much are you really going to get at this point? I mean, he's a kind of a question mark.
Yeah.
So,
but I mean, he's been there though for the years to put it in, and you know he's got the team. He was there when they went to the playoffs, so I mean, it's not like he's a complete junk. I mean, he's an actual,
definitely not.
I mean, hence that's the reason why Cardinals go okay, you know.
Yeah,
and like I said, I totally see him now. He's going to be like, okay, I'm on a team that actually, you know, wants to win and actually, you know, has the potential to go somewhere. And he'll probably get himself in shape and actually work at it. You know, and then of course then he's going to be on the other side with Hopkins. So, you know, he's going to find some open windows on that. And then if they bring back Fitzgerald for another year, you know, it's just going to open more things up for him.
Yeah,
because again, his attitude's probably going to change 180.
Yeah.
No, I mean, when he's healthy, I mean, you could definitely say he's in the top 5 receivers in the league. So, I mean, it's not as if we're talking about some average receiver. We're talking about an above-average player who, due to injuries, is kind of slowed down a little bit. But that doesn't mean that his hands went away. I mean, he still can catch the ball as good as anybody, just maybe not get the separation that he was getting before. Yeah. So, I mean...
But he's still one of the receivers that compete, too.
Yeah.
So even if it is like... He's like Hopkins, right? If you get into a one-on-one situation, he's probably going to tear it down from you.
Yeah.
So even if it is close hand-to-hand, he'll take care of it with it. But
yeah.
Like I said, you just don't know, you know, what Green's impact was on the team.
Yeah.
You know, behind the scenes, on and off the field. Because he is a veteran guy.
Yeah.
And...
I'm sure he's helped Auden Tate and some of these younger players.
I bet you
become
he's
better
worked
players.
with T.
Yeah. T. Higgins and. But I mean, if I'm looking at it from the Bengals standpoint, though, I mean, I'm looking at this guy T. Higgins and Auden Tate and these other guys. There's plenty of talent there.
No. Yeah, there isn't. They're not short in the cupboard.
Yeah.
It's just if the quarterback can stay up long enough to get it to him.
Yeah.
Well, that's the key.
And that's the thing too, is how much is Green going to make a difference if the quarterback can't stay up, and you already have plenty of talent at receivers, so you don't need to ship money to pay him more when you're not sure about him, but you're sure about these other guys. I mean, you are kind of sure about him, but I'm just saying you have so many more needs that need to be filled that you don't need to pay him more when you already have guys that look groomed and ready to take his place, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, plus, if he wants to retire a Bengal, he can always sign a 1-year, I mean, like a 1-day contract or something at the end. I mean, and I think ultimately that's going to be what happens. I think he'll end up retiring a Bengal, even though he wasn't on the team for a couple seasons.
Yeah, he'll definitely probably.
I mean,
that's
what I would hope, at least.
We'll see. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He can go win something with the Cardinals, and then be like, "Oh yeah, I'm a Cardinal."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just, it's like, screw this.
Bengal what?
Yeah. All those.
Well, we already know that ain't happening. I mean, we already just got done talking about the Lions winning the whole thing.
Yeah.
So we
Well,
already know
I mean,
that ain't happening.
And one more thing.
Yeah, and we haven't even gotten to the Broncos or the Eagles yet. So
One more thing is, I do wish that we could have traded Geno Atkins instead of just letting him walk. But, I mean, I think we could have gotten at least a couple draft picks for him, even if they were late rounders, or because I still think he can play. I mean,
he's been the staple of the defense for
years.
A few years there. So
I mean,
it's like anything else, right? I mean, these guys, that's the reason why they've been in the NFL for a while, right? They know the NFL system. They know how to play in it. They're seasoned, so they're just not, again, I love, draft choices and everything with it, but it's a different level. It might not pan out.
Yeah.
Right.
Give me something that okay, he knows what the NFL is, and he knows how to play in it, and those are huge.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and give me a guy that the system has to adapt to, as opposed to adapt to the system. Because you got a record like that, you're not going to be doing too bad. So.
But I mean, I kind of fall in line with, and maybe it's this, maybe I'm thinking this way because this is unfortunately what I'm dealing with in Detroit. Same thing. But the move to go younger isn't always a bad move. I mean,
no.
These guys are, I mean, the talent out there right now, I don't think the talent's ever been better as far as, I mean, these athletes coming out of college are in better shape than most people have ever been in their lives, right? I mean, and it's only getting better and better every year. I mean, every year you hear the flipping 40 times and shit going down even further than they were. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, now you get linemen running fucking 4.6s. Yeah.
I mean Ross. Oh wait, that's a bad example.
Yeah.
I mean, he ran a 4.2. Oh my God. Yeah, where is he?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's in New York.
Okay, for now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's only on.
Well, unfortunately, you still got to catch the
You know
ball.
the reason
Well,
why
no,
that
that's
is?
what I'm saying. Though, like you said, you can fill up the stats, fill up the board. I mean, with all your numbers from the combine, it doesn't mean anything. If you can't do the position, you're gonna get annihilated.
Right. No, I mean, but I'm saying across the board, the athletes are bigger, stronger, faster. There's no doubting that.
Yeah.
mean-
And dumber.
Well,
No, but I'm just saying, right? I mean, how many times can we sit here and go, "Oh, he's not cerebral." You know what I mean?
no, I mean, yeah, I get
mean,
it.
It gets
but-
the Forrest Gump thing. Hey, you sure can't run fast.
Right. No, I get it. But, I mean, in some cases, just because the guys have been around the league forever doesn't make him a great player. I mean, there's guys coming off the bench and, holding the clipboard all the time.
Yeah.
So-
Which is smart because they're getting paid for holding clipboard.
Right. No, that's the real smart player.
That's cerebral right there.
Right. I mean, if you're able to do that,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
if you're able to do that, then, yeah, you are the smart one.
Yeah, you're talking about freaking Josh McCown. He's still getting paid from the Eagles right now.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, look how many...
42.
Yeah, I mean, look at, what's our buddy that we talked about, coaching up Tom Brady? I mean, Gabbert. I mean, shoot. I mean, he got a Super Bowl ring. It's like, he went up there and told Brady what to do, that one time out. He's like, hey, Tom, you see this? You should try this. Look what happened. Obviously, it was Gabbert.
Hell, speaking of the freaking Bucks, Sean McCoy, 2 Super Bowls with 2 teams.
Exactly.
He didn't
do
play a snap.
squat.
He literally didn't play a snap in the Super Bowl, either one, and he got 2 rings.
One with the Chiefs, one with the Bucks.
and not a career to laugh about either, because when he was on the Eagles, he was a damn good player. But unfortunately for him, he went to the Bills when they weren't doing anything and kind of fell apart after that. But then again, the Eagles weren't doing anything either, so what the hell?
He got the A on the group project without doing anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But again, it's just again circumstances and
Right.
what they're doing with it. But again, in Cincinnati's case, yes, please add people as much as you can because obviously the cupboard was bare. I mean, that's the reason why they've been in this position for several years, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, no, and the thing is too is a lot of it has to do with there's a reason that you see these teams like the Steelers and the Ravens and some of these guys, every pick that they take works out because when you go to that team, you're just adding on to what they already have going on. When you're going to a team like the Jets, you're basically being asked to be the position when you get drafted early. So, when you're going to the Steelers, you're just like, hey, we got some guys around here. You don't really have to do too much because we got this guy who's an all-star here, this guy who's an all-star here, and you just fill in. And then if you can't do that, then, we'll draft your replacement next year.
The difference is they're not drafting out of necessity. Out of
that
need.
too.
They're drafting the best player that they see fit that works in their system.
Well, that too.
and also they know again because of stability, right? Because Tomlin's going to be there. Harbaugh's going to be there.
Yep.
Why do you think the Steelers and the Ravens always win the division?
Oh, yeah.
Most of the time.
Oh, yeah.
Is because guess what? They have a proven track record. They go, if you do A, B, and C, and these other guys around you will help you do A, B, and C, guess what you're going to do? You're going to work out fine.
Yep.
While, Cleveland and Cincinnati are going, who's coaching today? We don't know.
I'm going to say, we're talking all this positivity about the Bengals, but we're still not sure if the coach is going to be there past this year because they would talk about him getting fired this year.
Yeah.
Even though
We always talk about it. You don't have time.
Yeah, that's it. So like you said, it's just if you can get the stability, and like I said, that's the reason those players flourish. And if you have those coaches that can do it, and organizations that promote it, you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I mean, at least in my opinion, though, I feel like in terms of get better approach, this team's overall improved over the last couple seasons. They've made an effort to go out and sign guys, and I think that's mainly because Burrow came in.
Didn't hurt. Work that way.
But still, to see them making moves, trying to get better, really positive things to see, and it shows that the ownership at least still has a little bit of care about winning, and they want to win. because, I mean, everybody, like, shits on Mike Brown all the time, but, you know, Cincinnati's not a place that everybody wants to come play. They're what, mid-market team, or not really. I mean, it's hard to attract players when you got the Steelers and the Ravens in the same division, and they're like 10 times better.
Well, you got to win, and they don't win.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the problem. Nobody wants. I mean, do you think anybody's going to show up in Tampa Bay if they weren't going to win?
Yeah.
I mean, they would have said, "No, I'm going to go somewhere else."
Right.
I'll go to Miami.
Because you know what? I mean, if they came out and laid an egg, guess what everybody's going to do? Oh, see you later. That was fun.
Yeah.
And that's why we're cost.
You know, and that's the reason why you see, you know, flakoids like Deshaun Jackson going, "Oh, hey, I want to go sign with the Rams."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because there's a chance of winning, and you're going to attract that because you have good players there.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, that Rams team is not far off. And then now you just add if he didn't, huge question mark. But if he plays anywhere near his old potential, it's a huge grab. But the chances of him playing that way are going to be slim.
Yeah.
You know, but you're going to bring that name to that team.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
and not only that, but they're not in a position where they couldn't afford to take a chance on a guy like that because they already have stacked, essentially. I mean, they got good players all over the receiving core and stuff, so they're just like, hell, even if he busts, we still got enough to do something. So
well, no, I mean, even their situation, they just put him as punt returner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And go, hey, Sean, just run the hell with the ball, and that's all you need to do.
Yeah.
You know, and
No kidding.
perfect. Give us some field position, and that's all we need.
Yeah.
Yeah, fill the stats, fill the board.
Exactly.
They don't even need his receiving abilities. No. They got plenty of those.
Yeah.
Hell, we know. We played them, and every freaking guy under the sink was catching balls against us. So, yeah. But anyway, I've had about enough of this positivity. Let's get into the Eagles. What were you going to say?
Oh, no, I was... oh, nothing really. I was just going to say, as far as the... as far as the Eagles go,
Tough.
it's been a tough free agency.
That's a good way to put it. It's been tough.
I mean, as far as moves go, I mean, I really haven't seen them do a lot. I mean,
You don't need
Or-
to.
Shipping
They're
people
set.
out.
and,
Yeah.
They got systems.
I mean, the
Yeah.
crazy,
As long as it keeps subtracting, you're fine.
at least to me, I mean, I feel like especially for, I mean, I think they're kind of in a rebuilding stage now, I would have to figure. Just kind of seems like they're headed in a different direction than they were. They, lost Malik Jackson and a couple other guys. And,
Wentz.
yep, Wentz. And, it's going to be interesting to see what they do with, the whole QB situation as well as, how this coach comes in and does,
Or doesn't.
or doesn't. Yeah. I mean,
Well, maybe he'll watch tape.
Good.
That'll help.
who knows? Who knows?
Maybe old Dougie left his playbook for him that he can look at.
And maybe you can.
But
search up
yeah,
the analytics.
just not for a team that's trying to. I mean, I would assume that they would want to be at least getting bringing in some solid guys. I would think. I mean, at least, but they kind of just have stood pat and just lost guys.
Well, it's partly because we have one of the worst cap situations in the NFL.
Yeah,
right
that's
now.
true. That's true.
We can't afford anybody.
Go with it.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Yeah,
That's-
that's the good thing about us is that we had a lot of cap to work with. I think we were the 5th highest in cap room to work with. So
we were the second lowest.
No, that makes all the difference in the world. I mean, you're kind of strapped. Your hands are tied right now because you don't have any of the space to do much. And I mean, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of improvements going to happen until you get some room. I'm not sure. Is Darius Slay still under contract, or did he?
Yeah, he's there.
How many more years is he there?
I think 2.
2 more.
I think he was
Yeah.
signed to a 3-year deal.
So
3 or 4.
I just wasn't sure. Somebody asked me that about at work today, and I was
Well,
like,
it's okay. I mean, with everybody else leaving, it's a fair question.
Well, and how the cap works now, everybody switches it up and has massaged it to whatever it is.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
there should be no way Kansas City should be able to sign anybody, but obviously they are.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, who knows? You could very well see Slade requesting a trade out of Philadelphia before too long. I mean, you just never know.
I would totally see it if they fall this year. I totally see it. He'd probably ask for an out.
I was going to say, right now, the Lions are looking like a better situation than what we got going on. So I would say, bye. Thanks for your time. Yeah,
Bye.
exactly. Bye.
But no, I was just thinking, because I mean, the Eagles are in a bad spot. I mean, they're going to lose Ernst. It looks like it.
Oh yeah.
Losing Jackson, there's a lot of subtractions, and then they got the Arenado situation where they're paying money out because Wentz is gone. X, Y, and Z, right? So this is just not a good spot for this team. And like I said, this new guy with the systems and whatever he's doing, I just see him just being a fall guy. They're going to say, oh, well, yeah, he sucked. Well, because he didn't, again, like I said, he has no cap room. He can't keep any players. He's just going to be using, second-tier players and youngsters.
Yeah.
And they're not going to be able to sustain anything.
No.
With it, so.
No.
This is the beginning of the rebuild.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you nailed it completely right on the head. I mean, he's taken over a team that is so freaking cap restricted that he literally can't do anything, which wouldn't be the worst thing if they were good last year. But they were horrible. So not only can he not really do anything to change, improve the team a little bit, but even if he improves it a little bit, that's still not going to be enough. I mean, well, in the NFC East, maybe it will be to make the playoffs. I don't know. But, I mean, I'm just saying, making the playoffs, not really doing much for our team at all, because we know once we get in them, we're going to get freaking toasted by pretty much whoever. So, yeah, it's just a freaking mess. I mean, there's no room to do anything. All we're doing is losing players, and unfortunately, it would be nice if we could, as part of the rebuild, trade these players away to get draft picks or get young talent or something. But nope, we can't even do that because a lot of the people either don't want to trade with us, or the trades that we're offering are not realistic for people. Such as Carson Wentz, which is part of the reason that we ended up getting freaking bended over in that deal. Because, for a very long time, there was rumors about much better offers than what we got. But we were too hard-nosed and saying, no, we want first-round picks. And so, as a result, we ended up getting, paying them to take him. So, I mean, it's just an all-around bad situation. This guy with the stupid systems and stuff like that, I mean, I'm already not impressed, and we haven't even seen him on the field yet. And that's kind of a sad state of affairs in and of itself. But, whatever. I mean, like he said, going to be probably the fall guy. And like, oh, okay, well, we were rebuilding these 3 years and we weren't going anywhere anyway. So you might as well coach it because whoever coached it was going to lose. So you might as well coach it and lose. But, I mean, if we're going to lose anyways, then whatever, why not promote inside the organization? I mean, Deuce Staley was a coach for the Eagles for a long time, and, I was kind of hoping that he would get the job if we weren't going to be signing Bieniemy or somebody like that. But, nope, they just let him go too. So, it's just, I mean, like I said, all positivity pretty much stops once we, talk about the Eagles because there's really nothing to be excited about. Deshaun Jackson's gone, Alshon Jeffrey's gone, Jalen Mills is gone. Zach Ertz is going to be traded here soon. Carson Wentz is gone. Name it. We pretty much leaving. We are, working to re-sign some older players like Brandon Graham and some of these guys that have been on the team for a while, which, that's all well and good. But, again, I mean, we're not going to be doing anything anyways, so I don't know. Maybe we could have freed up some cap space instead of spending it on this guy, even if he is a good player. What's a good player on a 4-10 team? You know, I mean, just basically money.
Trade bait.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. I mean, I'm fans of these players, and like I said, they've been around for a while. Brandon Graham, some of these guys, I'm a big fan of them. Fletcher Cox, some of these guys, I'm big fans of theirs. But at the same time, we're paying them a lot of money, and we have so many more needs that we can't even begin to be decent. And then even if we could be decent, we can't even just get the quarterback situation just over and done with, because these guys still, they won't even say, you know, Jalen Hurts is the starter for the offseason. They won't even say that. They're saying, oh, well, we're going to see, we like a couple of guys that we have, you know, in the practice squad and stuff like that. So we're going to, it's like, good God, can we just for 1 second have a moment of stability at the position? Didn't you put us through enough last year with that whole debacle? I mean, do we need to see more from Sudfeld? Do we need to see more from that guy? I just don't understand.
No, I was going to say that last play he did in that last game was enough to see.
Yeah.
You don't need to see more of that.
Exactly. And the fact that we've been hearing about his potential for 3 years now, and he's still the third string quarterback, tells me that apparently the potential's not doing that much for us. So why can't we just say, Jalen Hurts, you're our starter? And then, but again, here we go again, because now every stupid draft board points to us taking a quarterback. And it's just another situation where we are so cap locked and everything else that the last thing that we need to do is have yet another player who might require money in the future at a position we don't need him at. Just like we did last year with Jalen Hurts, taking him, even though his was second round. Now we can do it in the first round. So, woohoo! Can't wait for that. I mean, it's stupid. The fact that we're even having this conversation is enough to make me want to throw up in my mouth. I mean, it's almost like literally regurgitating what we went through last year, and they're doing nothing to help it. I mean, this guy coming in here talking about the systems, as far as I'm concerned.
What do you expect him to do, though? I mean, this guy's coming into this situation. He wasn't handed a very good situation to begin with. The quarterback was on his way out before he even got there. He didn't want to play there anyway. I mean, management.
Well, what I expect him to do is say, at least for now, Jalen Hurts is a starter.
Yes.
Boom. If we make trades or do something, then maybe it'll change. But for now, he's our guy.
Yeah, they need to.
That's it.
They need to name Hurts number one, and then stop talking about another quarterback, because they don't need to do that. Because then now what you're going to do is you're going to get another Paxton Lynch like we did in Denver, and he's going to suck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's going to be one thing. I mean, what are they going to do? Bring in Max Jones, you know, from Alabama, which, you know, if whatever. He might do it, but guess what he's going to do? He's going to be like Burrow, right? They're not going to be able to protect him, and then boom, he doesn't have the athletic ability to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Where you have at least Hurts, which gives you a chance to at least scramble out of stuff and do things, which will help. But and then you can use your draft choices to actually draft things that you need to fill a lot of holes that you got, or at least start the process of it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to sit here and start calling out another quarterback, that isn't going to help the situation at all.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's my problem is...
Well, I don't know. I mean, I haven't listened to it from their mouths. I have no idea what's actually been said. But to sit here and try to tell me that just to say, well, we're not even going to bother looking, I don't think that's an accurate assessment either. Because when you're living and dying by... You're coaching this team, and you're going to sit here and say, okay, well, this isn't my guy. And do you think they're going to care? No.
Well, but all I'm saying is they could do that if they want to. But right now, what the hell is the harm in saying, yeah, he's our guy? Even if they draft somebody else.
I understand what you're saying, but my point is that this guy actually is not in a very good situation.
No, I agree. He took out...
I mean,
As far apart from
but to improve his situation, he'd say Jalen Hurts is my number one.
Yeah, exactly. He
then that
overnight he could improve the situation by saying, "Hey, we're not having questions right now. For once, we don't have questions about this. We're just gonna roll with it."
Yeah,
but he won't do that.
Yeah, because again, the organization drafted him in the second round.
Yeah.
And we got rid of our number one.
Yeah.
And we're paying money out. He's even here. He's not here, and we're paying money out.
Yeah. And
we have to you have to actually triage it, right? And say, this is hemorrhaging right now, obviously.
Yeah.
Because we're sucking and we're losing a lot of players. So we got to do something to stop the bleeding on this.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is I understand what you're saying, but at the other point, when did we start blaming the freaking general manager? Because, it's not Sirianni's guy, but Howie Roseman or whoever the hell has been there. We don't have a new GM, so that's still his guy. Jalen Hurts was drafted under his tutelage.
Yeah, no,
so
I get it.
If it's not Sirianni's guy, this guy needs to step in and say, I don't give a crap who your guy is. I've been here and we drafted him. I made that decision to draft him, so you're going to deal with it.
We're going after Chase Daniels tomorrow.
Right?
You know what I mean? That's where you're at, right? Or you're going to sit there and go, well, at least he's cheap. He sucks, but he's cheap.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's so frustrating because
to me, it's all a bunch of coach speak, though. That's all it is. It's a bunch of, we can call it whatever we want to. We see it all the time. This is our guy. Boom, guess what? Next day he's traded. Who cares? That's why I say it's all a bunch of coach speak. Just because this guy says, oh, well, he's our guy. Doesn't fucking matter. They said Wentz was their guy. And he's gone. I mean, it's all a bunch of coach speak. You want to hear what you want to hear, or do you want to see fucking results?
Well, I think that's the state of the Eagles right now.
Right.
They're a total freaking mess.
Right.
Because this has started from the day that they decided to go, let's keep Wentz over Foles. When Foles was the one that was winning.
Yep.
That was the big issue, right? Even though Foles would have sucked from this point on, whatever happened, whatever with that.
Yep.
Obviously, right there, Wentz wasn't the guy. You shouldn't have paid him all that money.
Yep.
Right? Because he's a tin man, right? He's gonna break.
No,
And especially under that situation, and then with the analytics, the other systems guy, Peterson, who's an abomination. It was horrible because obviously, just like we said before, and if you've watched this on previous videos, obviously it's Frank Wright. It wasn't him.
Yeah.
It wasn't Peterson. It was Wright.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what? Where did Wentz go? Oh, to the Colts, where Frank Wright is. And I'm sure he'll resurrect his career. Guarantee it probably.
Yeah.
That he will, because he has a team around him. He has defense. He has offense.
Oh yeah.
And all he's got to do is
not get
game
hurt.
manage.
Yeah, not get hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're talking about the same guy that said, "Oh, maybe we should focus on the run a little bit more." Too bad he didn't do that when he was coaching. Because if we would have had the running game that Indianapolis has, that could have solved our problem right there. Yeah. But he didn't commit to it. So I mean, it's just a big load of bull all around. And again, I agree. The blame doesn't just fall on Sirianni or Peterson or anything. From the head up to the down, it's swirling the toilet bowl. And the fact that we have all this trash right now and we're so bad, but yet we're cap destroyed from hell, means whoever's running the contracts is not even doing a good job. Because how the hell are we this far behind in the cap situation when our team is literally getting 4-10 and 1? I mean, that's putrid. You would think if we're this bad in the cap, we should have at least easily made the playoffs. Easily. If we got this high in cap. But we didn't even come, I mean, we came close, but that was a joke in and of itself. In any other division, we would have not even been close. We would have been eliminated by week 10. So, I mean, the fact that we're this bad and we're still destroyed by the cap means they're not doing their jobs. And then, these guys are coming in, hiring the wrong people and bringing in the wrong talent. They're not being held accountable at all. Because Jeffrey Lurie, he just keeps saying, Howie Roseman is great, and we'll just keep him around. But, I mean, at this point, we're going to circulate through coaches. We're going to circulate through quarterbacks. We're going to circulate through defensive people. and nothing's going to change. So at some point,
Welcome to the Detroit world.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Point the
you've seen
finger.
it. You've seen it that their drafts. Nothing's hit,
no.
and that's the problem, right? Nothing's gone through that has the players sticking around.
Yeah.
I mean, you've had your Aguilars. You signed your Jeffries in free agency. You've done everything that they've done. They got one catch guy, right? That they Ragnar or Rager, right? One cat, or nothing. Nobody's panned. Nobody's made a splash, right?
No.
It's been this guy's a bum.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
It's been whiffs and misses, and they're overpaying and stretching on free agents.
Yeah, and then meanwhile, people that are drafted after our selection at the same position are becoming all-stars. Justin Jefferson, DK Metcalf, all drafted after our selection at the same position. The only good draft pick that we've had, really is Derek Barnett. He's turned into a great defensive lineman for us, but apart from that, everybody else has been basically gone in years. I mean, Aguilar, he's hit or miss. I mean, he had a good season last year, but who knows? That could have been a one-off.
Well, I mean, that's for his that he bet on himself, and he actually won, right?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm going to take less money. I'm going to go to Las Vegas and
Yeah.
spin the wheel.
Yeah.
And he spun the wheel and he hit.
Yeah.
Because he went back to probably his USC days and went, oh yeah, I think I'll catch the ball.
Yeah. But I mean, like you said, it's just from the organizational standpoint, everything's been misses and just bad decisions, and then we can't even get trades right. We're getting screwed without a choice a lot of times. I mean, it's like, okay, well, do you want to let him walk for free, or keep him here unhappy, or trade him and get bent over? So when you look at it, any way you look, we're taking it. We're taking it up the anus. Any way you look. So it's frustrating being an Eagles fan, and that's why I said, any positivity that we talked about before ends here, because it's going to be a season of like, oh crap, it's going to be more of the same. The only thing is, like he said, are we going to watch the tape this year? Who knows? But even if we watch the tape, I think we're just going to get beat because teams have more talent than us. So even if we watch the tape, at some point it comes down to player versus player. Mm-hmm. And if our players can't beat their players, well, have fun.
Yeah,
You're gonna lose.
It's just it's trying to get the next 2 years or whatever it's going to be, getting high salary veteran players off the books and getting rid of the Wentz contract. Mm-hmm. Until that happens, nothing good or nothing can be done until that happens. Yeah, and I mean, again, with the Sirianni guy, there's nothing really that he can do. But for my money, he's not making the situation better. And I don't know if he really could, but he's just not giving me any confidence that he knows what he's doing. That's my biggest issue. I thoroughly believe that in 3 years, maybe even 2.5, he's going to be fired. I do not believe it. Yeah, he's going to be gone. Yeah, I do not believe that he is going to be the guy that's going to take this organization over and be the stability like we talked about Ravens, Steelers. I don't see that as Sirianni. I see him just being a guy that, oh yeah, remember when he was coach? Oh, I forgot about that guy. Wasn't he the systems dude? Oh yeah, we had quite a few laughs about him. How many years was he there? 2? Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, who'd you get after that? Yeah, he'll fall in line with the Patricias, the McDaniels, the Vance Josephs. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, outside of because of a couple memes and a couple jokes, we won't remember who he is in 5 years.
I mean, ultimately, like you just said, he's in a horrible position, okay? I mean, we all sit here, and I think we can all agree he's probably a stopgap. Yeah. Okay? That he's not going to be the guy. But, I don't know, given the situation with their salary cap and everything, I don't give a fuck who you have in there. Yeah. It ain't going to matter. No. So, I'm not going to go full on board and say that this guy can't coach or anything, because you don't know. Because he's not going to have the real opportunity to get it done in a situation where he might be able to succeed. But, with that being said, like you just said earlier, the real question needs to be answered of why does this GM still have his job? And, especially, from the owner side, too. I mean, Laurie, obviously he's still high off the fucking Super Bowl win or whatever, where maybe he's blinded by all this bullshit. But, I mean, to me, the real problem lies there.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the problem lies. It's not. It goes above and beyond the players.
Mm-hmm.
You know? And, I mean, and that's why I'm saying, too, it's like it's all coaches speak. You can fucking tell people all day long.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've all sit here. I mean, myself included. I mean, myself, I know better than probably as well as anybody at this table because of how many fucking coaches we've had. I've heard so many fucking press conferences about this, that, and the other. How we're going to change and this and that. And hell, I'm on board with it now, trying to get excited about it, right? And I'm probably going to be sitting here 3 years going, well, there's another coach out the door.
Yeah.
But I mean, at least the nice thing you had is you had Stafford, though.
Yeah.
You had the constant, right?
Yeah.
They weren't sitting there pulling the leg like, oh, hey, should we start Chase Daniel?
Yeah.
What are we going to do with that? Oh, how about Blow? Yeah, Blow's good. Yeah, screw Stafford. Let's try to trade him.
Yeah.
Sit him on the bench. You know what I mean? So again, it's a different. It's the same turd, but it's formed differently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was gonna say, yeah.
In a way, so it's just like it's a different scenario, but it's still bad.
It's yeah. I mean, the end result is it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The end result is
no, like I said,
here.
it's got to get flush, and that's contracts and everything, and
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, the GM position is really where they need to do something. They need to.
Yeah, because he's the one that's got him into this position, and obviously he's done a poor job.
Yeah.
And obviously their scouting and everything else has done a poor job too.
Yeah.
But because the guy won him a Super Bowl, he's got the fucking owner snowed. You know, like, oh yeah, well I won a Super Bowl, so obviously, we brought in the talent to win a Super Bowl, so and it's like, well, that was then. This is now. And because of the moves that were made to win that Super Bowl is why our cap held is so fucking shitty now.
Yeah. Well, like I said, what they did to get the players that were there, and then that Foles Wentz debacle is what killed it. Is put the knife in it.
Yeah. Yeah, what they should have done if they wanted to hold on to Wentz was do a frickin' 1 year, whatever.
Franchise tag.
Yeah, the franchise tag, and just see, like, okay, is it going to be another year where he can't stay healthy? Or if he has a full year healthy, then what's he going to do? Because he hasn't had a full year healthy until last year, and they yanked him. So it's like, okay, well, it was still undecided, but they just paid him anyways. What the hell? So, I mean, as a result of that and many other things, and then just bad decision making and misses on on trading and free agency for that matter, it's just here we are swirling the crapper, and it's not going to get better anytime soon, unfortunately. And for that piece, I guess welcome to town, Sirianni, since he was probably going to be fired in 3 years anyways. But like you say, no matter who was brought in there, likely going to be the same thing because of the way that the management has handled the team. It could very well be that with anybody. I mean, I don't see this changing in the next 3 years, no matter who's in there.
Yeah, for his sake, rent. Don't buy anything. Because you're not going to be there that way.
No,
don't set up a huge
besides
mansion.
that, if you have as miserable time as we think you're going to have, the fan base is just going to flip and be egging your house and throwing shit all the time at it anyway.
Well, they're already pretty much gone on this guy. And he hasn't even played a snap,
Well, I mean, his opening press conference wasn't too impressive. So.
No.
But, I mean, with that being said...
And Philadelphia is a...
horrible media market.
Yeah, exactly.
Fickle.
Yeah. So, anyways, enough about that crap show, because I can't stomach talking about this anymore. Let's move on to the Broncos. They got a similar crap show going on, but there's glimmers of hope. Glimmers of hope. So, I know they've been extremely active in the free agency, and not just for the wrong reasons like my team.
Yeah. Seems like they're getting things a little bit right. Again, still big question marks the QB position. Is it going to be Locke? Is it going to be somebody else? But they're putting definitely pieces in place, and they're doing what everybody else does, but without the quarterback. Is like, hey, you want to come here because we've got a really good team. So, they're bringing back players that are good, bringing back players coming off injury. One minus was Lindsey, but it is what it is. They brought in a running back from Minnesota, so again, and I think he's primarily more special teams too, which is huge because we sucked at special teams. So so if he's able to help on the special team coverage and kickoff coverage, hey, that's actually again filling in a right hole for that. We're picking up a bunch of ex-Fangio kids from Chicago, so more whatever's going to come because we're still dealing with free agency. Who knows? There could be some moves, but the thing is just if they can get a QB settled, whatever it is, that's going to determine what's going to go on with this team. But again, nothing is good, and you can't get too hyped about it because again, if we still end up at 5-11, that's the same 5 years we've had before this. So again, it doesn't matter until I actually put more W's in the left-hand column. Until that happens, I can only expect what we've been doing is what we're going to get. But it's nice to at least to get a little positive on some things. But again, is it false positive? Because again, if people start going down and injuries, just like the last several years, who knows? Yeah. Who knows what happens? But if they can get a bona fide number one QB, it's a pretty good talented team that they're building.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. I mean, I think that they're doing the right thing to surround the rest of the team. But I mean, it just goes to show, just like we talk about, if you have the QB but nothing around him, you're not much better. Like with the Lions and Stafford, and if it's the opposite, where you have everything else but not the QB, you're not too far down the creek either. Because unfortunately last year was also mostly a lot due to injuries, but last year they still were balling out in many games on defense at least, and they had receivers that were playing well and running backs that were doing at least a serviceable job for the most part, and they couldn't do anything because the quarterback wasn't performing to the level that was necessary. And that's even when the quarterback was playing, because he got injured a couple of times as well. So,
or filled the board with 4 picks against the Raiders.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes when he wasn't injured, you wish he was. Yeah. So it just, it's difficult. But and then like you said with Lindsey, I mean that's very unfortunate. But at the same time, I kind of look at it as a blessing for him because with Fangio returning as the coach, not once during the season did I really feel like they used him the way that he probably should have been used. And so if you're just going to have him sitting around the bench, maybe getting... I remember the one week you said that he had like 8 snaps or, 6 touches or something like that. I mean, if you're just going to do that with him, what the hell are you paying him for? Anybody can sit there and come in for 6 snaps and then drink water on the sideline. I could do that.
His production's not where it should be.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's probably going to be asking for money, and if you're just going to use him like that, then hell, anyone can do it.
Yeah. Fortunately, he went to Houston, so he's going to be... And then if they lose Watson, then... It'd be funny, though, right? Watson comes to us, and Lindsey goes to them, but it would just be...
Yeah.
It kind of suck, but...
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, not for us, but...
Yeah, for them.
For him, it would suck, but... Yeah. No, like I said, if Watson lands or any other number one lands... They have the pieces. It's just if they can keep it together and make it through the season healthy, kind of like the Avs. It's the same thing. We have a lot of pieces, but if they all play, we might be able to make some noise. But if Locke is mediocre, I compare him to probably a lesser David Carr. You know what I mean? He has kind of the same thing where you're like, what the hell's he thinking on that? Or, has a brain fart out there. And then sometimes he just plays totally horrible. But then there's moments where you're like, wow, this guy's elite. This guy's top tier. But it's just too inconsistent with it to figure it. But
again, and then of course everything they come out of camp. Well, he's improving. He's done this. Well, it might be improving in the preseason and around training camp, but when it comes on Sundays, it's not there. So we'll see what happens. Again, like I said, if for some way they can snag Watson, that puts this team pretty darn competitive.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this will be his second year under Shermer, though, which will be helpful because, I mean, last year he was learning the system and all that. So I expect them to improve some this year, even if it is him at the helm. And if the rest of it stays good, I expect to see improvement from the Broncos. I mean, like you said, if they get Watson, they got a real legitimate chance of being, doing something. They'll lose to the Lions in the Super Bowl, but all for naught. I mean, it would just be another loss in the Super Bowl. Yeah. Well, we're going to be biting off kneecaps and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to deal with it.
Exactly. Be lucky enough to make it to the game.
Yeah.
Got the Detroit Mafia back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I mean, that's how we figure we're going to get places now.
Yeah, exactly.
We're bringing in somebody that's some mafia.
Screw COVID relief. This is Tiny Thumbs taking care of the action, putting in the grease.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Yeah. No, I think one thing I will say for the Broncos is, even though we'll see what they do at the quarterback position, but they've definitely done what they can to make it an appetizing destination. I think if I was a quarterback, like a Watson or somebody like that, or if there was somebody like a Watson that was just a free agent right now, I would be looking at the Broncos and saying, wow, yeah, I'll go, I'll come along, because all you see is them signing more pieces. And, unfortunately, from what it sounds like, they're doing everything they can to try and, make trades for some of these guys, and the people that are responsible for trading the player and the teams that own these players don't seem to want to wheel and deal any, and that kind of leaves them stuck. But at the same time, I feel like they're doing what they can to attract somebody like that, and not like, oh crap, I'm going to Denver, oh damn it, here we go. Not one of those situations like Antonio Brown. Yeah, I'm not suiting up for this team. No thanks. That's not going on. They're signing people and they're building a team. They're just missing that one guy. But I really believe that one guy, maybe not this year, but I really believe that one guy will eventually come around, because when somebody becomes a free agent and they look at this situation, they're going to say, wow, that I'm what they're missing.
Yeah, well, I even see it even with, if you're just looking at even mid-level people. But again, their team right now doesn't know what the hell they're doing. So like guys like Darnold, right?
Yeah,
that'd be like, hey, his first year contract. He's a young guy. He obviously can play the ball, but the Jets don't know what the hell they're going to do. Yeah. Are they going to draft a quarterback? Are they going to keep him? Are they, So again, there's a lot of pieces. Even like you said. You put in Darnold into that program, and I think you're going to have probably something. Mm-hmm. Darnold's able to put up some numbers with the Jets.
Yep.
Mediocre line, but he had some receivers, so he's going to come to Denver and he's going to have receivers. He's going to have Sutton back. He's going to have Patrick. He's going to have Judy. He's going to have Fan.
And he's going to have a defense.
And he's got a defense. So you know what I mean. So there's a lot of things that maybe that could be the piece, and it'd be a cheaper piece than Watson. We're not hemorrhaging the future of the whole franchise for the next 10 years instead of our normal 5 years where we're sitting right now in the carousel. We'll have the 10-year the grand carousel for the next 10 years, trying to pay him off with it. But again, that's a splash player though, and if you get a chance to do it, I think you have to.
Yeah.
You have to roll the dice, because it is a generational player to go for. Just like if we did with Manning and whatever that's with it, right?
Yep.
You're going to have to roll the dice if
somebody like that.
Yeah, if Rodgers gets pissed off in Green Bay,
you roll the dice.
Here's a spot, right?
Yeah.
And do it. But Watson he's got the youth, he's got everything on his side. So it's.
And he's not. I mean, he hasn't been hurt that much either.
No, he's actually played very well for how crappy that O'Brien was. You know.
Yeah.
I think he would just only flourish with this team.
Yeah, if you look at his numbers last year, they were tremendous.
Yeah,
And
how
they
bad
only
that
won-
team was
yeah.
without a coach for so many.
I mean, what they
weeks.
have 4 wins or 5,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, they were.
I mean,
4.
4 wins, and I mean, his numbers were like better than most guys that had winning seasons.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, just amazing.
No,
So-
exactly. But that's why I say, I mean, when I look at Denver, I just say, like, man, they're doing everything else. That now, if a quarterback's to fall through, I would say that would be the first destination, and then look at, like, okay, well, is another team going to pay me more or stuff like that? But I would say the standard is being held up to what I can do in Denver right now.
And I'll like to say here, and I haven't said too much about it, but first year for the GM Peyton, kudos, dude. You are doing flying colors with this. There's also a chance that they still might bring Kareem Jackson back out of free agency too. So if he comes back, that'll be just another piece that's already played and ready to roll. And then, like I said, with him, with this Tyson Watson would help probably too. Because he's buddies with him, like, yeah, okay, yeah, we get Jackson too as well. You know what I mean? Because guess what? Jackson's going to go, oh, I already know what Deshaun does. I'll sign for less, to be a part of this.
Yep.
So again, that's the same thing too. It's like, hey, if we do make that splash with Watson, who knows what other ramifications could come, out of other players going, hey, I'll take a pay cut for this freaking action.
Yeah.
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 Or hell, I mean, I was thinking, like, even if you aren't able to do something like that, I mean, if you were to maybe sign like Alex Smith or something and bring him in, and then still have Drew start, but if you don't see much progression, you bring in Alex Smith. He's a veteran. If you can keep him up, he's probably going to be more than serviceable, and see what you can do while you wait for, the likes of Aaron Rodgers or somebody like that to become available. I mean, I think that would be just fine. And then if the competition creates Locke really stepping his game up because he knows somebody's waiting right behind him, then you win either way. And if he goes down and gets hurt like he did last season, then you have a good backup at the very least. So I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, we keep on saying the quarterback. That's basically.
Well, no, I mean, if Alex Smith comes in, it's pretty much going to be. It would look like the Chiefs prior to Mahomes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going to have a pretty good defense, and he's going to do everything that you need to, right? He's not going to make any stupid plays and turn the ball over and cost them anything that's with it. But again, is that enough to take that next step, which has always caused Alex Smith's downfall wherever he went, right? The same thing in San Francisco, right? He just couldn't make that next leap, because that's where Kaepernick had the moxie. Same thing in Kansas City, right? He can get him so far, but guess what? Mahomes has the, and so that's where I kind of see the same thing, right? I think Smith could get him to a certain plateau, but I think to get that next jump, you got to do the what,
No, I agree. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying that he's good. I'm just saying, he's going to be an improvement over Locke, because he's not going to make stupid mistakes.
And I'm just talking 1 year too, because you put him in there, you realize the potential. It's not just, wow, what could this team do if they had a quarterback? Yeah. You'll see, and then you don't need to extend him. Then you wait for Watson, because even if he doesn't get traded, I think his contract year. Well, actually, no, he signed a 4-year a year ago. But somebody's going to be available, and they will know, because they're like, holy crap, look what Alex Smith did. So, I don't know. But I just think
you never know. I mean, there could be the thing just like could happen in Seattle, right? Russell Wilson could say, I want out, put Denver on my list.
Yeah.
And you put Russell Wilson in this offense?
Yeah.
It's just as good, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's lined up for somebody to just walk right in and just move them along.
Amen. Yeah. No, exactly. And that's why I say too is, even if that's not going to be what can happen this year, if you bring in somebody like Alex Smith, at least you'll get better this year, and then if they can't
at
get
least get a 500 record.
Yeah, well, and if they can't get a Watson or somebody, you still got someone.
Yeah.
As opposed to, okay, we're looking at Locke again, and if he, struggles like he did last year, then you're pretty much hogtied to what you're going to do in next free agency, because you either have to draft somebody again or you really need to sign it. Whereas at least if you had Aaron Smith, you could okay, well, we got somebody that can hold us over and keep us relevant.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Like you said, there's a lot of scenarios and
and Darnold, like you said, I think Darnold would be interesting for sure.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just thinking of somebody that actually understands the pro game and actually has a head on his shoulders and can figure it out. Because again, even with the Jets and how bad they are, he would show flashes, right, and go oh, okay, he can actually. And then last year, he went, he wasn't seeing ghosts anymore and getting the kissing disease, mono. He actually played, most of the game, most of the season, and played very well on a very bad team.
Yeah.
So
definitely wasn't because of him that they were losing.
No,
he did it. Hero's effort, as they say.
No.
So,
but again, that's that maturation, right? He's going into his 4th and 5th year. He's the game's slowing down. I think it's where he's like, okay, I'm understanding what I'm seeing now. Where when I was younger, I'm seeing ghosts like he did against Belichick and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But the game's not going 900 miles an hour now. It's back to 150 or.
Yeah. Well, and that just shows you the ineptitude of the Jets to be looking at him and saying, "Oh, we don't think he can take us where we need to be," and letting him be the fall guy for their crappy job. And "Oh yeah, well it's because Sam Darnold, we thought he had it and he didn't." It's nothing to do with him.
No, it's the problem with you drafting 1 or 2 for the last 5 years.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The ineptitude of the Jets right there.
Yeah.
They're talking about, we should probably just let him go. It's well,
please
what the hell are you doing? Yeah. He'll make you look foolish somewhere else. Almost guaranteed. So, yeah. But anyway, I think we'll go ahead and probably cap the video off here. Definitely a very entertaining video and a lot of good stuff to talk about. Sometimes for the wrong reasons, but we're talking about it nonetheless. So
no, like I said, it's very good. Good discussion groups and like I said, please fill in with any topic points that you guys might have, and we can elaborate on the next one.
Yeah,
hash it over.
Yeah. I was gonna say,
and it's also nice for most of us to actually have some positivity at this table right now. About how our free agencies have gone. Yeah. There's not a lot of us complaining. I mean, that's a good sign,
Yeah, there's only a couple of us getting ready to throw bricks.
But then it's every year, though. That's every year, before every draft, right? I mean, that's where you see all the yahoos on those draft days. They think their team's going to make a draft, and that's it, right? They're going to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And then by the time they get the OTAs and everything, this is the thing, and then reality hits week 1.
Yeah.
No, exactly.
Hell, look no further than Pokuševski for the Thunder. This guy was supposed to be the next Nowitzki or something, and he can't even make the unit. They got him down in the G League.
He is the next Nowitzki, right? Retired.
Yeah, he's going back overseas. That's what.
Yeah, he's done.
But it's not for the Olympics. It's not for the Olympics. He's done. Yeah, he can't even. He's on the G League right now, and they pull him up occasionally. It's good God. I mean, this guy. The way they were talking about him over the offseason, you'd think he was the Lamb of God or something coming in here. But
and like I said, the NFL's the worst, though. I mean, everybody has spring internal, with the NFL. And especially with the draft, everybody just goes
optimism
gaga on that stuff, and they just think, this is going to be the greatest thing. And then
they watch that tape, and they're like, man, look at him beasting over, Illinois State over there. Ooh, look at the move he put on that guy.
Yeah, unfortunately, everybody is on the same level or more.
Exactly.
In those, and so like I said, it's another level, and then that's the reason I always say with the veterans, right? Because they know what the speed of the game is and what to expect. With everything. We're a rookie because can you make that jump? It's like we saw with Judy, right? I mean,
shit looked great in Alabama, but I mean, he has skills, but can he? But Jefferson made it, right? Jefferson, he went, right? That was just the, he got it, right? He clicked and went, okay, I know how to do this, and boom, he showed out.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
While there's a lot of people that struggle.
Yeah, he's making the Stephon Diggs thing look like a walk in the park. Like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? We already got the next guy anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I completely agree, and especially with the NFL, I mean, because everybody's looking at, their teams, and if they're addressing the needs, they're like, wow, if these guys just turn out to be good players, we addressed everything, so now we're ready. And it's like, well, good luck with that one, because unfortunately,
9 times out of 10,
even the good players have growing pains.
Yeah.
Hell, Deion Sanders.
Or they flop.
Hell, Deion Sanders didn't look so hot his first season. I mean, he was getting burned.
Well, like I said, especially being a corner, and who didn't tackle, but his punt return and his ball hawking skills definitely made up for it. And then once he was able to, gauge the speed, he was fine, right?
Yeah.
But it's just if you can make those adjustments, but if you can't, then
let's
toast.
face it, a lot of these guys, the guys that are leaving early in the draft, they're going to shit. They're going to shit situations. A lot of them.
Mm-hmm. No,
So,
yeah, that's why I was saying earlier.
I mean, it's not a situation where they're, like you said, where they're walking into the Steelers. I mean, they're walking into the fucking Jets or the Lions or
they're expected to carry the franchise.
Yeah, some teams.
Yeah, I was gonna say at
no
the
clue
position.
what to fucking do.
Yeah, they get drafted second, and they're not. It's not acceptable to just be. Oh yeah, he's a decent player. You need to be the player at that position, otherwise you are a waste essentially.
There's a reason we're picking here in the top 10 for the 5th straight year. There's a reason that's being done. So
yeah. Well, all I can say is, again, great video. We definitely got into a lot of topics, and we're really excited. Even though decent chance that all of our teams will be looking at the same thing as last year.
Same thing the last 5 years for me.
Yeah, exactly. So that could realistically be what happens, but nonetheless, it's exciting to talk about and fantasize what could be and probably won't. But I just lastly, I got my Peyton Manning Colts jersey on because I figure we're turning into the Philadelphia Colts over here with Sirianni and all these management people from Indianapolis coming over. So might as well just wear the white and blue now. So, anyways, if you guys like the video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, build a little wall around the notification button, as well as make sure, like I said before, check out DENT Sports, Denver, Detroit Sports. They got tremendous videos over there. Huge. And, big league channel going on over there. So, definitely, if you like the pissed off portion of the segment where we talked about the Eagles, then you'll enjoy a lot of their videos because they've got more than just football to be pissed off about. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I'm Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
Steve.
I'm Don.
See you guys in the next video.
Love you, bitch.